Golf tees are an absolutely amazing item to engrave and either sell or gift to someone or even use for your own round in golf. These are really easy to do, really simple, and today I'm going to take you through the full setup, how to position them on the machine, how to focus, then we're going to move on to actually setting up the personalized text, applying your material settings, and finally our engraving. And by the end of it, you are going to know how to make your own personalized golf tees. So stick around and we will get straight to it. Let's take a look at the actual item itself. So these are 63mm long wooden golf tees. As you can see, they are the longer variant. You can get them in a medium size and a short size. And these in particular, I got in a bulk of 100, but you can get them more or less to suit your needs. In terms of placement, you can lie them on the bed, but as you can see, they are a bit wobbly, but you can do that, okay? That is an option. However, what I like to do, I have a jig that I do design and I do sell. Check it out in the description if you're interested. But the reason I'm telling you about it isn't to sell you a product, but it is to make your life easier and also allow you to be a bit more industrious with your time. You can place up to 7 of these in there at a time, and it will literally just slot in. It'll be centrally located and then it'll allow us to level. The next step is for us to focus the laser. We will be doing it manually using the knob. We're turning it anti-clockwise, so to the left to go down until those dots join up, and then we know we are manually focused. Let's move on to xTool Studio. Here we are on our xTool Studio workspace. We're going to be clicking the new project button in the top right. So let's click on that and then we will connect to our machine. It should update a picture in the background and you will see our items ready to go. I wanted to say at this point, make sure you watch the full video because there is a time-saving tip that will really reduce your wooden engravings down that I'm going to be sharing with you later in the video. So stay tuned and we'll get on with the design. So here we are back on our workspace. You will see there is a number in there which is from our manual focus, but if you want, you can also run the automatic focus there and that will dim the lights, focus off the top of the middle item and then give you a distance. I'm happy with what we've got, so I'm not going to do that in this case. So what we want to do in this case is we want to add text onto these golf tees. So if you come over here to the left-hand side, you will see the T, which is for the text box. Click on that once and then just click anywhere on the workspace and you will be greeted with hello. So let me zoom in and I'm going to put Chris from L3D in brackets golf tees. So I'm just going to do this in this case just to show you, you can fit large items on these. And what we'll do is we will select Engrave on the right side over here. Once we click that, it will fill it in as you can see. I'm also going to change the layer to the red layer just so you can actually get a good view of how this looks. The next step is to change your font type if you want. So select your text. Up the top in the toolbar here, you will see Arial is selected. And then on the left, once you've clicked it, you will be given a whole plethora of text to use. In this case, I really like Cambria because I feel like it's actually a really classy looking font. And as you can see there, it just looks nice and it fits quite well. So we're happy with that. What we want to do next is we want to position this and make sure it's positioned on the golf tee. The good thing about having a jig is once you get this right once, you can save your template or you can save it as a template. And if you're not sure how to do that, check out my tutorial videos and then you can reuse it every time and just change the font. So what we'll do in this case, we're going to frame it first and then we're going to apply our material settings. So to frame it, we're going to go to the bottom right here. You'll see a framing box there and a little arrow. In this case, I recommend using rectangular framing because if you actually go outline and it shows you the text, it's very hard to see if it's straight, but using rectangular will produce a nice rectangular box and you can line it up with the edge of the golf tee and make sure it's straight. So we're going to do that. We're going to click on that and then we're going to move over to the machine and frame this first one. One thing I wanted to quickly show you is actually what I'm going to do as I'm framing it. I'm going to select our item there and then as I go over, so I've got a wireless keyboard, okay? And what you can do is I'm going to show you on the camera. You can press the arrow and it will actually move the position of that box on the screen. So when you're framing, a nice tip is if you want to manually adjust it in micro amounts, take a keyboard with you or have your laptop near you and just as you're framing it, just tap the arrows to get it in the right position, which is what I'm going to do now. As you can see, the camera framing on the xTool F2, as good as it is, you always need to manually frame it. And I'm using the arrows on the keyboard, as I said now, just to move this box to where I deem as a good central position. And I think looking at it, that's pretty spot on. So we're happy with our position there. As you can see, it's not centrally based on the camera. So The camera is brilliant, but as you start getting higher off the build plate, you'll realize the accuracy can diminish a bit. And that's why, like I just said a minute ago, you should always manually frame. So I've now got that ready. What I'm going to do is copy and paste and make sure these are roughly in the right position, because what I'll then go and do, and I'm not going to show you this bit on camera just because you've already seen me do it once, but I'm then going to go and manually frame each bit of text to make sure I'm happy with their position. So let's get the next ones in. We're going to do this 7 times, and then we can work out on their position and make sure they're all vertical down the middle afterwards. All we care about to begin with is just getting 7 of these positioned. Right, so now that we've got it, I'm going to show you something else here, okay? So let's just assume all of our items are a little bit out of whack. What we can do is drag a box around everything, and then if you come up to the top here, you'll see align. So I always get confused by this because naturally I would do vertical align because I think it was doing it down the vertical. But in this case, we want a horizontal align center, that one there. So I'll zoom back out, I'll click it, and then what you should see is they are now all perfectly central down the middle, which is what we want because we want a consistent looking golf tee all the way down. So just to show you that I have individually framed each one, I'm going to click through each of them, and you should see it will change the framing box for each one, and it will show that they are all in a good position, which means I'm happy to proceed with the material settings. Let's take a little break because I've got something important to say. I just wanted to thank every single one of you for supporting the channel up to this point. If my videos are really helpful to you and you're learning, please give a little something back and subscribe to the channel. It means the world. And also, if you would like early access to videos, shout outs, exclusive discounts, and other member benefits, join the channel's membership and become part of the L3D crew. Anyway, let's get back to that video. So we've framed them all, we're happy. As you can see, the golf tee's text doesn't line up perfectly with the golf tees on the camera, but we have manually framed, so we're happy. So the next thing we now need to do is apply our material settings. I've got a really nice set of settings here. So what we're going to do is click on material at the right here. So you can go through the materials on the material library and try and find your own. What I ended up doing was coming up with my own settings because I just liked how they were. And if you'd like to know how to add your own actual material settings to the library, I have tutorial videos that show that, so check out the video as well. So here we go, we've got that. I'm going to select everything, and then within this I have text engraving as my specific settings here, and I'm going to zoom in over here now so you can actually see them. So we've got everything selected. We're going to move over here and I'm going to run through the material settings. So blue light laser is what we'll be using, 90% power, 300 speed, 300 lines per centimeter. They're all very critical, but remember I had a tip to speed up the engraving, so stay tuned because I'm going to show you that very soon. But the first thing I'm going to do to show you the contrast is we are going to click process, see what the engraving time is for this, and then we're going to compare after I apply my tip. So there you go, look, top right, 2 minutes 19 is what it's saying at the moment. We should be able to reduce that down drastically. So to do that, we're going to click back. We are now going to go to the bottom right down here, and we are going to click on process, and then we are going to then select auto planning and select user defining. Once we've got that, this is the critical part now you need to get right. Click on smart processing mode. And what this is going to do is instead of going side to side down the whole thing, it's now going to be smart and determine its processing path a letter at a time. And you're going to see once I zoom back out and we click process now, it should speed it up massively. So there you go. Look at that, 49 seconds. That is going to save you so much time if you need to make a lot of these. Hopefully you like it. So what we'll do now, we're going to click start, we're going to send it through, and we're going to see the final results. One thing I always like to remind you guys of is make sure you have good extraction and you close the lid. We are using the blue laser, so it's going to be bright. It's going to produce smoke and a smell, so we need to draw that out. So let's lower that down and let's crack on. Let's take a look at these, and as you can see, it produces a lovely dark finish on them. One tip I would say is if you want to actually try and clean them up a little bit more, I would recommend getting some isopropyl alcohol, spraying it and giving it a wipe with a cloth just to make it that little bit more pristine. But I hope you agree, they come out so nice, and you can really churn these out quick and efficiently for your business. So there you go. We have our personalized golf tee. Super simple, super effective, super profitable if you want to sell them. And most importantly, it's beginner friendly. I hope that's been really helpful for you today. If it has been helpful, please subscribe to the channel, please like. And if you want early access to these videos and more access to me, then check out the channel, joining as an L3D supporter. Finally, if you are interested in any xTool lasers or accessories, check out those affiliate links down below. You can buy through the channel, get a little bit of discount, and then you will also also be supporting this channel, allowing me to make more of these great videos for you. So once again, thank you for watching. Have a brilliant day, and I'll see you again soon.